Hey, Shadow Riders Army, you want to start your own podcast? Well, Anchor is the easiest way to make a podcast. Anchor gives you everything you need in one place for free, which you can use right from your phone or computer. Creation tools allow you to record and edit your podcast so it sounds great. They'll distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard everywhere in places like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and many more. You can easily make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. So go on over and download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. That's ANCHOR.FM. Anchor. Check it out. Peace.
Full tank of gas. Haters trying to stop me cause I'm moving too fast. I stay rolling on my grind with my money on my mind cause I'm riding, y'all. I'm riding fast, approaching red line. I'm ready to blow. Ballin' till I'm falling, I ain't trying to move slow. Play a holler at you later.
Yeah, Richie 10 Shadow Riders, listen. Yo, I'm on the top of the game. Hard body on top of these lanes. Switching gears in the Maserati. Driving insane as fly as can be. Giovanna rim size 23. Shit, I'm as high as can be. Ladies call me handsome. Way before I did the Shadow Riders anthem. Now I'm sitting in the Black Phantom. More than they can handle. I play the ball hard in the car, it's coming out the front panel. What you know about that? But I ain't T.I.P., I'm R.I.C. K-Rock, I show you how to stay fly in the daytime. With Shadow Riders on my side, hopping up the G-Ride, I stay live. The boy wonders, not a talk of the town. Toasted up, never boast, yeah, I'm holding it down. Gunning for now, these tough Burger King niggas coming through steady, keeping the crown. While I'm in the fruit punch jag, popping up, riding around. Believe me, dog, this is real as it sounds. Shit.
Shadow Riders Ignition.
You are now listening to the Shadow Riders Ignitions radio show. All about the JDM life.
Shadow Riders, baby.
The Shadow Riders ethos. I will be so strong that nothing can disturb my peace of mind. I will never, never, never give up, and I will never, never, never accept defeat. I will think only of the best, work only for the best, and expect only the best. I will be just as enthusiastic about the success of others as I am about my own. I will give so much time to improving myself that I have no time to criticize others. I will be too large for worry, too noble for anger, too strong for fear, and too happy to permit the persistence of trouble. I will think well of myself and proclaim this fact to the world, not in loud words, but in great deeds. I will always surround myself with people who are faithful, accountable, and teachable. I will bring discipline, momentum, focus, determination, will, and tenacity to every challenge. I will always have the courage to follow my dreams. I will always stay humble and down to earth. I will always be real, straight, and authentic with people. I will never forget where I came from and where my true power is. I will always represent myself and my crew with pride and style. I will be driven because I am part of Shadow Riders. and together we are unstoppable. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Shadow Riders Ignitions Radio Show. I am your host, Shadow, aka Shadow Riders Leader, Shadow Riders Alpha. We got a great show for you today. We're going to talk about how drifting got started. We'll be right back after these important messages.
SCW Performance, Dallas-Fort Worth's best race shop. Located on 1620 Interstate 35 Frontage Road, Carrollton, Texas 75006. Open Monday through Fridays, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. They offer performance installs, engine builds, repair estimates, and much more. For more information, call 405-201-7999. SCW Performance. Audio Depot, Arlington's premier spot for car audio installation. Located on 4312 Matlock Road, Arlington, Texas 76018. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. For more information, call 817-466-2441. Audio Depot. Tell them Shadow Riders sent you. Game Over Video Games, the ultimate retro video game store. Buy, sell, and trade the classics such as Atari and Television, Nintendo, Sega, PlayStation, Saturn, and more. Located at 4648 South Cooper Street, Suite 240, Arlington, Texas, 76017. Open Monday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Sunday, 12 p.m. to 7 p.m. For more information, call 817-468-4263. Game Over Video Games.
You are now listening to the Shadow Riders Ignitions Radio Show, all about the JDM life.
Shadow Riders, baby.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. I am your host, Shadow, aka Shadow Riders Leader, Shadow Riders Alpha. This is the Shadow Riders Ignitions Radio Show. We got a great show for you today. We're going to talk about Keiichi Tsuchiya, the Drift King, and how drifting got started. Great show. Great show for you today. We got a great show. Make sure you following us on Twitter, Shadow Riders on Twitter. Make sure you following us on Facebook, Shadow Riders on Facebook. Make sure you follow us on Google Plus, Shadow Riders on Google Plus. A special shout out to my music family, Lameek and Groove Village. Another special shout out to my fellow musicians, M Squared, J Catalyst, Band Nerds, ADK, and Ivan James. Make sure you go check out all these people. These are my fellow musicians and musician family, all from the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Make sure you go check out everybody. Check them out. Make sure you check out my music, shadowmusic.com. Yeah, let's get into this show. So we're going to talk about Tsuchiya-san. We're going to talk about how drifting got started, because drifting is a big part of JDM car culture, and it's pretty new in the scope of all JDM car culture and car culture period. It's kind of new because you got D1 now. You know, it used to be F1, used to be NASCAR. Now you got D1, Drift 1. It's like a whole, it's a sport now, like sponsored by the biggest name companies in the world. But before it was a sport, a guy named Keiichi Drift King Tsuchiya started this. He's known worldwide as the Drift King, DK. And I'm going to read you guys a little excerpt I got from Drifting Streets magazine as I read. The word about Keiichi Tsuchiya quickly spread around Japanese street racers. And in 1977, several magazines and tuning garages agreed to produce a video of Tsuchiya's Togue Run. Known as Plus B or Plus By, it soon became a hit that inspired many other street racers. It's how the legendary Tsuchiya got started as a drifter. It's how he attained his name, the Drift King, and how drifting got its place in motorsports. Even today, new drifters get inspired by this video. It's a true classic. Inspired by Tsuchiya's video, Plus B, by the mid-1980s, street racers were practicing their skills on togues and industrial areas. As a result of the drifting popularity back in 1986, with the help of the Drift King Keiichi Tsuchiya, a magazine called Video Option was one of the first to organize events especially for drifting on the racetrack. Called Video Options Ikaten, it was more of a drifting demonstration than an actual contest. Cars in packs of 5 drifted their ways through the corners, all at the same time as a team. When the popularity of these drifting events increased, more street racers started to form drifting teams all around Japan. For the past 20 years, drifting has been extremely popular in Japan and is now established as a national sport. Known as the D1 Grand Prix, it's here where you'll find the best drifters in the world. The narrow and twisty mountain passes, or in other words called togues, are the roots of drifting, and most of these D1 drivers became good by practicing there. Even though drifting as a sport is relatively young in Japan, you would really have to know some serious drifting if you like to keep up with the top level drifters there. In general, the level of most drifters is a lot higher than anywhere else in the world. And now drifting has gone global. So it'll be interesting to see how the history of drifting develops. All right. That's the end of that article from Drifting Street. But yeah, that's a quick little history lesson on Keiichi Tsuchiya, the Drift King. I mean, because of him, you have guys that just love drifting. I didn't even know this guy created drifting until earlier this year, where I cared about looking it up and finding out. Because I remember when I was in Japan back in like 2003 to 2005. I mean, they had guys meeting up out there. And I saw it was one guy that was in Shadow Riders back then. He loved to drift. He was a drifter, and it really made me want to go trade in my Civic and get a car that you could drift, because everybody knows you need to have a car that's either all-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive to be able to drift really good. And some people say you can still drift a car that's front-wheel drive, and I didn't believe it till I saw some footage of it. It's pretty cool. I saw an anime. I'm really big into anime. I saw an anime called Initial D. You may have heard of it. that whole anime is about the Japanese car street racers up in the mountains of Japan having competitions in racing, and it's really a serious deal. And you saw like there's one episode when there was a Civic Type R hatchback that was going up against Fujiwara, the guy with the AE86, the Hachiroko from the Tokyo, the tofu shop one with the white with the tofu shop on the side door. But yeah, it was this guy in a Civic Type R racing against him, and they were drifting around corners. And of course, the Civic had more traction around the corners because the back end doesn't slide out as much. But it's really an art form. It's really something else, and you really got to have a lot of skill to do it. I sat and watched lots of videos of Keiichi Tsuchiya before I did this show right here, just to get a little research on the man and like what he's done for the history of motorsports. Is really cool. You got guys now like Kim Block who make the Jim Cotta videos. That's all he's doing is drifting, and he made it. He made an art form out of it. And once again, one of my favorite movies, Fast and Furious. You got Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift. That whole movie, the style of racing that they were doing was drifting. That was the main type of driving that the movie emphasized. Throughout the whole movie, they were teaching that guy how to drift, because when he first got there, the only type of racing he knew how to do was drag racing. That's all he knew how to do was drag race and circuit race through street racing. How it's done in America. But he didn't know how to drift. And like the first scene when he meets Han and he gets Han gives him his Sylvia and he wrecks it because he doesn't know how to drift. It's really it takes a lot more skill to race in the drifting fashion. And they even got Tsuchiya-san, they even got him to come and do some stunt doubling in the movie Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift, and I thought that was real cool. And so way back in 1977 and in the 1980s, this stuff got started, and most of us, we didn't even find out about it. Like here in the States, like most cats didn't even know about drifting until it got popular with D1 and all, the motorsports of it, and when the movies came out to show everybody what drifting is, that's when they got popular over here. But in Japan, they've been doing it for years, decades now, and I thought that was cool. But yeah, this show right here is just real quick show. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I know I did. I learned a lot about the history of drifting, and in my opinion, drifting is really a big part of JDM car culture now. Really big, all over the world. And it got started. How it got started is all because of a man named Keiichi Tsuchiya, the Drift King. So make sure you guys tune in for the next show. Make sure you guys check us out on ShadowRiders.com. Get that Shadow Riders gear. Get them Shadow Riders t-shirts. ShadowRiders.com is where you can go to watch all these shows, watch the videos, listen to them. If you want to get a Shadow Riders JDM car sticker, that's where you go get one. If you want to go check out our mascot, Phantom, the mascot of Shadow Riders, you can go check him out at ShadowRiders.com. Make sure that you guys go out and doing your LS procedures. All my Shadow Riders out there worldwide, do your LS procedures. Like and share these all over the place. Kill that like button, kill that share button. so we can do more of these. Your support is very, very much appreciated. So until next time, Shadow Riders for life, and I'm out.